What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. The Steelers fall 33-31 on Thursday Night Football to Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals. What the hell happened to the Steelers defense tonight? All year long, they were good against the run. The secondary looked solid. Then all of a sudden, they go up against 200-year-old Joe Flacco, and the defense can't stop a damn soul after the first quarter. Jalen Ramsey needs to hang it up. He's grits. He's done. The Bengals were running whoever offense on Jalen Ramsey tonight. Whoever Jalen was on, that's who they were throwing the football to. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they were eating Jalen Ramsey alive. He needs to just play safety. He doesn't have that cornerback anymore. He's done. He's cooked. Either you make Jalen Ramsey a full-time safety or you make him retire. He was an atrocity tonight. He single-handedly lost the Steelers this game on defense, man. You can't give up a play like that in the end like the one Jalen Ramsey did to T. Higgins. And Jalen Ramsey was talking a big game before this season about how he was looking forward to locking up Jamar Chase. And all he did was get embarrassed. Either you play safety full-time or you hang it up. He's grits. And what about the run defense? The run defense has been pretty good all season long. The Bengals were averaging only 50-something yards per game on the ground, but all of a sudden, when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers, though, the run game was there. Chase Brown was hitting them holes. The offensive line was pushing the Steelers' defensive line around. I'm just like, dog, what was the point of paying T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward all this money with how old they are if they're going to allow the Bengals, who have one of the weakest offensive lines in the NFL, to just push them around? And I'm still tweaking off the fact that Joe Flacco went 31 of 47, 342, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And he's only been with the Bengals for what, about 10 days? And he was cooking like this? I see why Mike Tomlin was pissed that the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. He knew what Joe Flacco could cook up, throwing to arguably the best receiving duo in the NFL. Joe Flacco just might take the Bengals to the playoffs this year. He just might save the season and Zach Taylor's job. All they need is to just stay afloat until Joe Burrow is able to come back around early to mid-December, and he just might be good enough to get it done. And I was wrong. I thought the Bengals made a mistake trading for Joe Flacco. I didn't think he was awful, but Jameis Winston I felt was a much better option. But Jameis Winston wouldn't have had 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. He probably would have had 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and it would have costed the Bengals this game. Joe Flacco, I think like most quarterbacks in the league that are having these late career resurrection arcs, he's in a great situation. It's hard to suck when you're throwing to receivers as talented as T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So for Jake Browning, he should feel frustrated with himself. Because how could you have been as bad as what you were and Joe Flacco play the way that he did against what should be one of the better defenses in the NFL? And back to the Steelers. They need to trade. The Steelers need to trade for a wide receiver ASAP. When you're throwing bubble screens to your tight ends, you're throwing bubble screens to Pat Freiermuth and the 300-plus pound tight end and Darnell Washington, you need some damn receivers, man. You're not going to have a lot of success in the playoffs by just running 13 personnel for the majority of the game. Either go get Chris Olave or go make A.J. Brown happy and take him off the Philadelphia Eagles, because he obviously isn't satisfied with Jalen Hurts throwing him passes, and he needs a change of scenery. And Aaron Rodgers was on one tonight. He only threw 1 interception. The second interception is not on him. That was on DK Metcalf. How are you built like a bodybuilder and you allow these weak corners to just snatch the ball from you? Well, it wasn't a corner. Technically, it was a safety because it was Jordan Battle. But come on, man. Steelers offense isn't going anywhere with just running 4 tight ends and 1 receiver sets all season long. This is not sustainable offense, man. And this is another random game that the Steelers lose that they were favored to win. Why are you losing to a backup quarterback? That's what Joe Flacco was when the Browns traded him away. The dude is 90 years old. He has 1 foot out of the door, and he torched the Steelers defense tonight with no injuries. The Steelers didn't have any significant injuries. Pretty much everybody was healthy in this game. TJ Watt was nowhere to be found. Cam Hayward, yeah, he came up big in the end, got the ball back to Pittsburgh, but it didn't matter. For the Steelers to have the most expensive defense in the NFL and get cooked by 200-year-old Joe Flacco with Jalen Ramsey allowing the Bengals to run whoever offense on him is extremely disappointing, man. Steelers need to go get them some more corner help and get them a damn wide receiver. I can't believe that people actually betted on Joe Flacco and won. This has me so fried right now, man. People really put their hard-earned cash on Joe Flacco, and he actually won the damn game. I can't believe what I'm looking at right now every season. And it's been this way for over a decade. The Steelers always drop a game that they have no business losing. The Bengals were on the brink of collapse. They lose this game, their season's over. Now you give their season life. They're 3-4 instead of 2-5, and you miss a golden opportunity to run away with the AFC North. With how easy the Ravens' schedule is coming off a bye, they can easily rattle off 6-7 wins and find themselves right back in the thick of things for the AFC North. Plus, they still have to play the Steelers twice. Man, this was a great game, but one that Pittsburgh really should have won, man. The Pat Freiermuth touchdown, I felt, was going to end up being the downfall of the Steelers. With the way the defense was playing, they were not going to be able to get a stop. This was going to be a game that came down to whoever got the ball last. And unfortunately, that was the Cincinnati Bengals. But for the Steelers defense to be as expensive as what it is, to have all of these aging vets and yet get torched and worked by a 200-year-old quarterback, I mean, damn, what was the point of spending all this money? What's the point of getting Jalen Ramsey if he was going to get cooked by Jamar Chase? Might as well just kept the dudes that they had at corner last year.